Anyway, Ian, your headline reads like this. The Great Plague of 1990.
Gaza. No, this is Jeremy Beadle. No.
Good. Well, I'll give you a point for amusement anyway, but the actual answer is that crime is up 17% in the second quarter of 1990. Not very interesting, is it, really?
Well, it's interesting, because Mrs Thatcher says it's our fault.
It is, yes, absolutely right.
Apparently it's up 26% in Milton Keynes, which I think says something.
Yeah,
the message is don't get burgled. Stupid people.
Yes, it's absolutely right. Mrs Thatcher has put the blame on victims who don't take proper precautions. She doesn't understand, or at least she doesn't understand, why everyone doesn't have a policeman standing outside their front door like she does. Next one up is Mrs Thatcher urges more what in politics?
More Mrs Thatcher in politics.
Resignations?
It's not going well so far. Christianity is the right answer.
Good grief. I don't believe that for a minute.
Who would have thought? I made Thatcher what, boasts Nigel?
To swallow.
No, it's not a reference to food.
Not Mars bars, then.
New Perrier advert. Time for you to go.
Yes.
Mrs Thatcher swallows Colin Moynihan.
My thanks to our panellists, Ian Hislop and Arthur Smith, Paul Merton and Jill Pyra. And I'll leave you with news that Sue Barker has finally come up with a new scheme to ensure that British tennis players get past the first round of Wimbledon. And finally, following the shock Tory defeat at Eastbourne, Mrs Thatcher today announced plans to start a new career outside politics. And so we spring on now to our archive round. Ian and Jermaine, straight down the line question. What happened next for you?
How many?
1.5 million. It'll go up to 3 million.
The next thing that happened is that Nicholas Ridley belched. No, I didn't mean that. He didn't do that. He interrupted, I think, and tried to correct her. And then it got very confused, and in the end, Mrs Thatcher had to go for the higher figure. But I can't remember what... I thought it was support for people who weren't able to pay the poll tax.
No, I think it was actually overseas aid. Mrs Thatcher got the figures totally wrong, but she couldn't admit she'd got them wrong, so...
They had to be changed.
All those foreign countries got an extra 50 grand.
Well, that sounds pretty familiar. Let's have a look and see what happened.
How many?
1.5 million. It'll go up to 3 million. That is to...
1.25.
It's 1.25 million, muttered Mr Ridley.
Well, you better put it up to 1.5 so it can go up to 3, haven't you?
He tried to make light of it, reaching for his wallet for a personal contribution, a £10 note. She was not amused.
Teach people to give me a wrong briefing, won't it? Right.
Dear, oh dear.
Yes, yes, that was Mrs Thatcher there, putting Nicholas Ridley wrong when he stupidly got something right.
There she is, swinging away. It's an old lady who's died this week. Any thoughts, Ken? Oh, look, she's burying you. Oh, there we are. Switching Britain on.
Well, it's amazing. I haven't had my invite to the funeral yet, so I haven't been able to decline it.
Would you go?
No, it would be a tad hypocritical. Given she abolished me, I don't think she expects me to turn up at her funeral.
She's died, and the BBC has been accused of bias. So, luckily, tonight it's rectified it by inviting Ken Livingstone on.
Wednesday saw tributes in Parliament. Anyone catch what Norman Lamont had to say?
No. What did he have to say?
Well, don't you know, Paul?
No, I don't. Me and Norman fell out some time ago.
He said, she looked at me and said, you are utterly hopeless. What great judgment she had.
Yeah. There was a succession of rather wet elderly men appearing on the telly saying, she was awfully rude to us, you know, and really horrid to Geoffrey.
When you say wet elderly men, have they just been fished from the Thames for their...
And there's some very elderly posh ones going, God, I mean, she was a woman. Rather vulgar, probably middle class. Ghastly, ghastly. And a woman.
There's been a lot of talk this week about the fact that she was a woman.
Yes.
But, I mean, I knew all along. of beyond gender, in a way. She had such conviction and such amazing confidence in herself that I think that whatever she'd been born, she wouldn't have thought that that was a hindrance, even if she'd been born a man or a goat. It wouldn't have stopped her.
You think she'd have been Britain's first goat prime minister?
Well, she would have been. And now we'd all be saying, against all odds, at a time when it was inconceivable that a goat would have been elected as a member of Parliament.
I hardly think she'd have been against the nanny state, though.
What did John Gunner have to say?
Nothing interesting.
He said she had beautiful hands and lovely ankles, and she knew precisely how to use both.
Like walking and picking up things.
Did you also see the misunderstanding over a Twitter conversation called Now Thatcher's Dead?
Oh, yes.
Which upset fans of the popular singer Cher, who thought she died.
Now that Cher's dead.
There were some errors on mainstream television also. Did you see how the BBC announced the news?
Yes, can we see it again?
Sorry, I was interrupting there, John, just because there's one more line, just as you were reading that, which has just come in from Lord Bell, and he's been quoted saying, "It is with great sadness that Mark and Carol Thatcher announced that their mother, Baroness Thatcher, died peacefully following a strike this morning."
And Thailand's Channel 5 showed a photo of Meryl Streep instead. And now here's another question. Why weren't Thatcher's children there at the end?
Perhaps Mark was still on the run?
Yes, that's it.
Actually, I was on paper review with Carol Thatcher the day it was revealed in the papers that Mark Thatcher was a multimillionaire. And she said, "I don't see how that can be. He's never done a day's work in his life." That's true. Keep it in.
That's all the lawyer needs to hear. That's true. Keep it in. That's
It's in my autobiography and he hasn't sued.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but no one's read that.
You're in it.
Am I?
Yeah.
Blimey.
That's with private eyes. That's when you said I had a secret Swiss bank account into which Gaddafi had put $250,000.
Did we get the figure wrong?
No, I think that's...
Well, I have to say, they were abroad. What did Maggie once say about her son?
Did she only say something once about him?
Well, she said Mark could sell snow to the Eskimos and sand to the Arabs.
But mainly just arms, the nasty little...
Now, how did the BBC expose their own lefty tendencies and their utter contempt for Thatcher's memory?
They interviewed her enemies who said unpleasant things about her, and then they interviewed her friends, most of whom also said unpleasant things about her.
Now, the BBC interviewed Gerry Adams. What did he say?
Didn't he go on about how she supported a whole list of things he didn't approve of, basically?
Well, he said Margaret Thatcher did great hurt to the British people, although not as much as all those bombs, eh, Gerry? All right, Gerry, any time! Yeah. Straight between your gizzard!
I thought we politically moved on from issuing threats to former members of the IRA.
Well, the BBC also interviewed Maggie's biggest fan and disciple, Tony Blair. Did you see his tribute? He said, very few leaders get to change the landscape of not just their own country, but of the world. I mean, well, he certainly changed the landscape of Baghdad. I'm sorry, Tony, I'm sorry about that, because he had a heart operation, you know, once he had ablation.
Well, he had one put in.
Did he have one put in? And now, Lord Howe of Aberavon was asked by Sky for his thoughts on his time in Thatcher's cabinet. And he said it was a long time ago. Well, yes, that's the idea when someone dies, Geoffrey. A bit of reminiscing about old stuff. Come on, Women, shape up!
I think you're in safer ground attacking Geoffrey Howe than you were with Jerry Adams.
Did you hear about Julian Stiles? According to the Mirror, Julian, 58, was made redundant from his factory job in 1984. I've been waiting for that witch to die for 30 years, he said. Tonight is party time. I'm drinking one drink for every year I've been out of work. 30 years? Without a job? Pull your finger out, Julian, you lazy bastard! I'll kill you, you bastard!
Let's abandon this show. Brian says, who wants a fight? Line up in alphabetical order. Adams, you're first.
But there has
the
been...
celebrations... Go on, me, don't speak.
No, I just said there have been lunacy on both sides. The more conservative press has got very overexcited and there are plans to rename London Thatcher. Did you know that?
Port Stanley, I think. No.
And the statue?
Well...
Do you want her on the 4th plinth?
When I became mayor, I was told, because I was Christian, what are you going to do with it? I said, well, it's actually reserved for Her Majesty when she dies. I'm not supposed to say that. They said, you can't tell anyone.
I think rather than putting the Queen up there, we should have a statue rather than actually put her up there. I mean, that'd be a big grizzly,
That's why we
wouldn't
had all those temporary things. They put her up there. There'll be endless demos, people trying to pull it down. It'll be just like the Saddam Hussein thing, people pulling it down with ropes, you know.
Well, that and a ring of steel of Daily Mail readers guarding the flame.
The celebrations of Thatcher's death have been criticised by all sides, including Tony Blair. Blair said this: when you decide, you divide. I think she would be pretty philosophical about it, and I hope I will be too. Although, philosophically speaking, he'd be dead.
He believes in an afterlife. He'll be looking down on the celebrations.
Or looking up.
And now, Margaret Thatcher is to have a ceremonial funeral. What's it going to cost?
10 million.
You're absolutely right, between 10 million and 40 million. I mean, I didn't understand this, you see. Look, when I was a kid... I used to make coffins. I left school at 14, love. I made hundreds of coffins. Yeah. I mean, I could do it cheaply. Wait, it cost 25 quid.
In those days, even though they weren't dead, you punched them into the coffin.
Well, Brian has just offered to do the whole thing for 25 quid.
For 25 quid.
Got to be the lowest bid. I think it's out to tender. Give it to Brian.
The BBC News produced an artist's impression of what the funeral might look like. Yes. Well, it's a bit like Reservoir Dogs. All the retrospectives of Thatcher's reign have brought back some memories. Do you recall what the eminent Dr. Jonathan Miller said about Thatcher? She is loathsome and repulsive in every way with her odious suburban gentility. I mean, it's good that Jonathan Miller reminds us occasionally of what a twat he is.
Line them up.
I'm going on that. Am I on that?
Yes, you're on this now.
Yes, so
I don't know what you're on.
I can't read this. Yes, this is the solemn news that one of our greatest peacetime prime ministers has died. But don't worry, Gordon's alive! Geoffrey Archer paid tribute to Lady Thatcher, saying she was a giant and she will remain a giant, and in history she will remain a giant. Geoffrey Archer, not just a terrible writer, but also a terrible writer. Lord Saatchi joined in the tribute, saying, everyone wants to be immortal. Few are. Mrs. Thatcher is. Has he not read the papers? Lady Thatcher's funeral will be held in central London next Wednesday. It will be a full ceremonial occasion with military honours. But at her own request, there'll be no fly-past, though the Argentinian Air Force did offer.